Hey, my sister. Tight, tight. How you doing, Queen? Thank you for joining, everyone. Hi, Kiki. How are you today, Kiki? How you doing? Thank you for joining, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, and we have an amazing personality coming on. A woman who has paid her dues in the entertainment industry. She's going to be talking about, teaching, yes, sis, teaching children kindness. Teaching children kindness, about kindness, diversity, and inclusion. And that's a very important topic considering, for people abroad, they always say that you don't know you are black till you come to the Western world, then you know that you're a black person. And that's true. Hi, Kenya Joseph, my media brother. How you doing? Yes, Kiki, I can't wait to. Please be in the comments, Kiki. Kiki is our partnership officer. She is a program assistant at Ruby's Inc. Initiative as well, and she's going to be in the comment to answer all your questions. Yeah. Yes, Kiki, I agree with you. The world today needs kindness. We need loads of kindness, actually. Loads and loads of it. We're lacking it. It's sad, right? Kindness, is one of the biggest forms of love in the world. And we need to continuously preach kindness. So it's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time, wherever you're joining from. Waiting for my guests to join us on Get Talking with Esther today. My name is Esther Ijaware. I am the founder of Ruby's Inc. Initiative. I'm your host for today. I'm a journalist, columnist with the Guardian newspaper, and a show host. Like somebody said, an incoming big-time show host. Let me start speaking it to myself because the vision and the dream is bigger than me. So we're not going to stop. We're taking it all the way up, 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 up. Waiting for you, Ariyike, to join the conversation. Let me send that a request. Okay. Yeah. Hey, bro. That's the producer of KKB show, right? Mr. Doyin Akinlade. If you watch the KKB show, that's like one of the longest running, TV show, kids TV show, in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining. So there's a lot of media people who are going to be joining because I'm surrounded by good people who want to see folks win. I'm surrounded by people who are not afraid to. Yes, KKB show. Yes, it's still running. So if you say loved, it's still running. KKB show is still running. You can imagine. You said loved. It means you watched it at a point in your life. It's still running. So yeah, that's an OG who just joined the show. Waiting for my guests to join. Ariyike is unable to join. Why? Oh, Ariyike, please um can you request to join? Keep showing unable to join. I don't know why. Um I think I might have to. Okay, Ariyike, please, if you can I cannot see here that you joined. It keeps saying you are unable to join. I don't know. Okay, great. Bye. Yes. Ariyike, please, I sent you an invitation. Maybe you can request to join as well. Instagram is doing its thing, keeps showing unable to join on my screen. Yes, Ariyike, please request to join. Oh, trying to join. Why? Why are you not able to join? Oh, okay. I think I accepted your request, Ariyike. So you can. Hey, babe.
Hi. Hi.
Ayo, I said, this thing is
I
just
was
showing.
requesting. I kept requesting.
I no
I
wonder.
thought you were trying to bring me on. I was trying to get on, but I wasn't getting on.
Oh my God, because I'm still seeing the Ariyike, Lady Ariyike is unable to join, anyway. Instagram, please let us be great though. Don't do what today. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are the boys?
Boys are good. How are my girls doing?
They're there.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're home. And how was your week?
Good. Very good.
Cold season is kicking in.
The weather has changed. You can see me.
Yes.
So
Same here. Same here. Where I slept today, in fact, I had to put alarm to remind myself, say, oh my God, show, because when it starts like this, you become lazy.
Yeah, you just
You
keep
want to
sleeping.
drag.
You don't want to get up. I know, right?
I know, and I'm like, girl, now you gotta do this, man. You're hosting a queen, so get your ass up and do this thing today. I told my dad, I said, if I don't sleep, go wake me up. Amazing. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Just before you joined, I was telling folks that, you are a media woman who has paid her dues duly, and that you've, of course, stand the test of time. You've contributed your quota. And for those who don't know her, you guys should rush up and follow her first while the show is going on. Right? Ariyike is an amazing woman. For a long time, people used to mix us together. Like, oh, is it Esther? Is it Ariyike? And that's because, when energies align, our passion, is similar. Like, we love the same things, right? But she's a lawyer, though. So that's the only thing we're different from me and I'm be that.
But you behave like lawyer now.
I know. Like, I had to give somebody water yesterday on Zoom.
I saw that.
I got to put him in his place, man. You don't listen. This, and I'm happy we're going to have this conversation today. As a person, right? I'm a bit laid back. Sometimes I don't want to dive into something, but then you come into a breakout session. Everybody, you're introducing ourselves. And the next thing I introduce myself, and you just go beam like that. I know this thing is being recorded. Make I drop my voice too. So if they put it on for the organization, they will yes,
you can't keep quiet. You can't keep quiet for that kind of this.
No,
and you spoke.
It's that, and I think that we should continuously put the motherland, not just Nigeria, in good light. This person has never been to Nigeria. This person has never had relations with Nigeria. He's never had an experience of scamming, but he had a perception that he held on to and so fixated and stuck up to it. So, but then I was calm about it because, of course, our job, active listening, and I had to validate his feelings. But however, dude, I was robbed in your country. Broad daylight robbing.
And you did not generalize.
I did not. And that was an hotel room. Mm-hmm. They came to clean and stole something, right? And the people who are from another country who run that, property, they blame the locals. And that's like, listen, if I were to be the one who went to that space on my own, I wouldn't go there anymore. Because if you run an organization and in the same vein, you're downplaying the effort of the locals to tell me they are petty thieves.
That's
That
the
thing stuck
problem.
in my head.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's a problem right there.
But I'm happy that, it was a teachable moment. And that's why I tell people, give people grace.
Yeah. Right.
I feel there was a moment in that conversation where the Nigerian thing wanted to come. And I said to myself, just let it go, Esther.
Breathe.
Calm down.
Breathe.
This is a recorded session. Make it a teachable moment. And we were seeing each other, so I said. And then I said what I said. And then after the conversation, I was trying to, no, nah, let's leave it at that. You ready? Let's leave. If you want to know more, go and Google Chimamanda, Google Ngozi, Google all of them. People use Calendly. It's owned by Nigeria. Folks don't know that. And that's because a lot of things look like it's owned by the Western world.
Right.
And Nigeria is known. Anyway, let's not even go into that. But it's the conversation we're having.
If we start, we're not going to finish.
We won't finish. We won't. I'm happy to have you here once again. Guys, Ariyike is an amazing lawyer. She is a relocation coach. Now, that's something that, she's going to be talking about today as well. We had a conversation a while back. Ariyike, of course, she knows a lot about immigration and relocation. She is an Amazon best-selling author. Believe me, she's making waves in Canada. She has a power-packed profile. She's taking her light and her energy to different sectors. She was one of the first YouTubers to be recognized in Nigeria. And I always tell young people, when you meet somebody, make sure you Google, their name, know the antecedents and the record they have. Ariyike is one of those people who has paid her dues silently in the industry. She's touched life. And she's also passionate about humanitarian causes. Ariyike gives back all the time. She pays it forward to people in marginalized communities. So thank you so much, Ariyike, for joining today. And the topic for today, guys, is teaching children about kindness, diversity, and inclusion. I was going to tell you, I said, if we had known, we would have tweaked the topic to say kids, kindness, inclusion, diversity, kid, instead of KDI. Yes. Maybe that's something you want to look into, sis.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, because every time diversity.
I'm taking notes.
Please do. Because I'm like, why do we always have diversity before inclusion? Why can't we have inclusion before diversity and kindness at the beginning? So we have kid. And that could actually be a conversation that will be a continuum. So thank you so much for joining once again, Ariyike. I'm happy to have you here. Let's get right into the session. I want to talk about your book. Yes. Truly Colored. You've taken it everywhere. I've seen your photos. You had, I think you had a meet and greet at some point with kids. So what inspired you to write the book? Oh, I think our screen is frozen. Ariyike?
I'm back.
I can.
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. First of all, thank you very much for bringing me on your platform. I do not take this for granted. I am truly, truly grateful for this opportunity. And thank you for all the kind words that you said about me. I really appreciate it. So yes, thank you very much. What inspired me to write the book? So I moved to Canada in 2019 with my family. I have 3 boys. I'm married. I have 3 boys. And I think that for the very first time, I realized, or should I say, we realized how Black we were. Because moving from a country like Nigeria, where you're nothing close to being a minority, you're a king, you're a queen. Like, everybody looks like you. If there is somebody who doesn't look like you in your class as a child, that person is the minority. So, we moved here and we had never been to Canada before. It was our first time of coming here, and we moved here as permanent residents. However, we had been to the US, we had been to England, we had been to a lot of other places, France, so many places, even within Africa, Ghana, and all the likes. But, traveling to a country on vacation is different from relocating to a country. So knowing that we were moving here and, we knew that this was going to be our new home. Of course, Nigeria is also our home, but this was also good. This was going to be where we would be living for the next couple of years, I was very intentional about how I, how I was raising my boys. I still am very intentional, because people underestimate the pressure and the things that these children go through, the culture shock. People think that it's only adults that come here and are just like, oh my God, what is happening? I don't speak like them. I don't, we don't speak the way they speak here. I have an accent. Are they going to hear me when I speak? I'm finding it hard to even hear my teachers. My friends at school might not even hear what I'm saying. All of these things are things that actually run through these children's minds. So when we came, I was trying to educate them more about diversity and inclusion. All of this was before the whole George Floyd, matter, and all Black Lives Matter and all those things happening. This was 2019, mid 2019. And I went online. I was trying to look for books. I was trying to look for videos on YouTube, to just try to teach these children, for them to see, know more about diversity, know more about how to present themselves, know more about how to just get into this country, into Canada, and just integrate. But I wasn't finding a lot of things. And you know how they say, if you've been searching for a book and you don't see it, you don't find it, write it. So that was simply what happened. I wrote the book because I was inspired by my children, and I wanted to, teach them more about kindness, more about diversity, more about inclusion. And I also wanted them to have positive affirmations, which was never a thing for us growing up in Nigeria. I knew about affirmations when I was in Nigeria, but you just say affirmations, okay, affirmations. But it was when I moved to Canada and I got a mentor. Shout out to Nkechi Umafo Robinson. That's my mentor. I love her so much. She was the one that actually really opened my eyes into the whole affirmations thing. Just pronouncing these words, saying these things to yourself, about yourself, for yourself. It's so powerful. It's so uplifting. It's so empowering when you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, I matter. I am great. I am peaceful. I am loving. I am kind. So I wanted to also have the affirmations for the kids as well, so that they can wake up every day and have these positive affirmations that they will recite to themselves, for themselves, about themselves. These are confidence boosters. These are things that, kids will say, and a child that has low confidence will say these things about themselves to themselves, and they begin to even feel more confident. So I felt that there was a need for me to write this book, and that was why I wrote the book. And it's been phenomenal. Like, the reception has been really, really mind-blowing. I honestly didn't think the book was going to, I knew it would do well, because there was a need for it. And it's a picture book. This is the book, for those who haven't seen the book. It's a picture book. And what I did was, I made sure that I wanted to represent as many kids as possible in terms of like race, and even occupation. So here we have a Muslim girl wearing her hijab. She wants to become a TV presenter. She's holding a microphone. We have a Chinese girl here at the back. She's a pilot. We have a rock star here. She has vitiligo. She has a skin disorder. And we have a Black girl. She's a lawyer. We have a firefighter here, Caucasian. Just a boy in a wheelchair. He's a basketballer. He's biracial. And we have this boy. He's albino. In Nigeria, growing up, Esther, we grew up in Nigeria, and we saw albinos. We saw how some of them were stereotyped. We saw, I went to school with albinos, and I wanted to also include them here in the book, to also make them know that they matter. So it's simply just a book that I want every child to open and point at a child there and say, oh my God, that is me. That looks like me. And, just for them to feel welcome, and for them to know that no matter what they look like, no matter where they come from, their race, their culture, their religion, or whatever it is, they are beautifully colored.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Very insightful. One thing that I'm going to take out from that, one major thing, and that's because it aligns with me. I do a lot of meditation and grounding. And those who follow, I think I have more followers on Facebook because of my daily affirmation. So I have grown a community on Facebook where every day they look forward to my affirmation. I've been doing that for 1 year.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
oh yeah, I mean, I think I should bring it to Instagram. But you know, Instagram now, everybody's too. If it's not well packaged, nobody gonna see it anyway. So, you know, while you were talking about the affirmation part, you reminded me of a conversation I had with somebody. I think last week, you know, on affirmation for children, affirmation for adults, and I said affirmation has been a blessing to me. You know, but people don't believe in that. And I'm happy that you're bringing this to the fore. I am happy that you're making it top of mind awareness for your kids, but not just your kids, all the people and all the children out there who need this positive energy. Because like you said, they might not find people who look like them when they walk into the room, but they should know that they have the right to be in the room. And that is the confidence that you're building. So well done on that, Ariyike. And very quickly, how can people get the book for those who are watching in real time?
Okay, so the book is available on Amazon. So where whatever country that you're watching from, as long as you have Amazon, you can buy the book. Just order it and it'll get to you within, I think, a day or two. If you're in Canada and you want to buy an autographed copy, you can send me a DM. You can buy directly from me, and I'll post it to you. So pretty much.
And how much is the copy?
What?
And how much is the copy?
So a copy is $14.99, $14.99.
Say so $15.
Yes, Canadian.
Yeah, that's Canadian dollars. Yeah. All right. So as a best-selling, you know, author on Amazon, right? Is this your first book, Ariyike?
No. So this is actually my third book. My first book was The Cost of Our Lives, and then this is my second book, which is also The Cost of Our Lives, the pandemic edition. I revamped my first book. When I came to Canada, I realized that a lot of people didn't know me from Nigeria. Some people that knew me here didn't even know I wrote a book. So I just changed the cover, added one extra chapter, and then put this on my Amazon page. So this became an Amazon, this got on the Amazon bestsellers list. Oops, sorry. Yeah, this got on the Amazon bestsellers list. It was number 17 in Canada and number 15 in the UK. It's a story that is centered around Nigeria and the United Kingdom. And it centers on child trafficking, cyberbullying, defilements of the girl child. And it's a book that, you know, just pretty much tells the story of resilience of a girl, of a Nigerian girl. So everyone should get this book. This one is for adults. It's mainly for, you know, grown-ups. And then this is my third book. And this went on to become number one on Amazon here in Canada. And it's been number one a couple of times. You know, it wasn't number one once. It's been number one multiple times. And I just want to quickly even just talk about the rainbow here that you see. So I think that here, being in this part of the world, we know what the rainbow stands for. We know what a rainbow signifies. And that was also one of the reasons why I put the rainbow in the book, for our children to see a rainbow and know that a rainbow remains a rainbow. A rainbow is beautiful, it unifies, and being that, you know, they're beautifully colored, it has like all the different colors. And even though all the colors are there, each color is still unique. Each color is still beautiful. And I think that as a child growing up, one of the things that shaped my creative mind was the fact that I was reading a lot of books. I was watching Care Bears. I don't know if you watched Care Bears as a child. Care Bears was like this cartoon of teddy bears, and they had like superpowers, and their powers would come from their belly. And once they bring out their powers, their belly had rainbows on it. So it would form like a rainbow slide thing, which was very beautiful to watch. And, you know, parents are hiding their children from the rainbow because they you know, they're saying, oh, this is what it stands for. Some of them don't want their children associated with the rainbow. But I mean, I'm challenging every parent to let their kids love, see, and appreciate the rainbow, because a rainbow remains a rainbow, always and forever. And it is all, it's entirely up to us to let our children know what it stands for. What Christians in the Bible, we know what the rainbow stands for. So the LGBTQ, the community is not saying don't use the rainbow. We own the rainbow. Everybody is allowed to use the rainbow. And I think that our children need to also, be brought on board to see that this is a rainbow. God's, the first time a lot of us heard about the rainbow or saw the rainbow was in the Bible. And we need to also teach our children what the rainbow represents in the Bible, and then also let them see it and appreciate it for what it is.
Thank you so much. And I agree with you, on the rainbow path. A lot of people, of course, in West Africa are not quite informed about the power of inclusion as regards the rainbow and what it represents in this side of the world. So I'm happy that you brought this to the fore. While it's not a conversation we'll get into today, I'm also very happy that you mentioned teaching children, and that is reception. Because if we're telling our children that when you walk into the room, let your energy be felt as a Black child, we should also let them know that there are child who don't look like you, who don't have the same, thought process as you, but you've got to be receptive of whatever they believe in. And that's, acceptance, so to say. So well done. I definitely am going to get a copy.
Thank you.
Wait, you've been number one? And why are we not talking about this? Why is it not everywhere?
Well,
like,
why is it not everywhere? Why where? Why what?
Why is it not everywhere? You get what I'm saying? Like, girl, I'm like, wait, number one on Amazon, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. It is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, humble people.
It's in a couple of places. And, the thing about these things is, how will I put it? And this is in my experience of working with the media, because I worked on TV in Nigeria for about 6.5 years, where I worked with Spice TV. You find that the media is controlled, and these types of news of, oh, your book became number one, some people might not see it as story. But the minute you do a scandal, you get yourself involved in something very, very, very messy. It becomes a story. So I mean, those who need to know that the book has been number one a few times, they know. I've sent some press releases out. I have been interviewed on some platforms, and slowly but surely the word will keep getting out. And it's really not even about the word getting out. It's about the word getting out to the right circles, to the target audience, to the people that should hear the word and get the book.
Amazing. And that's really powerful. Speaking of media and media preference in what they share and the kind of news that makes it to the front line. But I'm happy that you're focused more on the impact of the book and the target audience, which is powerful, right? Because sometimes you might have all the publicity, and you're not even making the impact.
Exactly.
Because ain't nobody buying. You're just shouting, you're just making noise, and nobody's actually, in real time, you're not, getting the reward for your effort. So, well done. So how then do we teach our children kindness, inclusion, and diversity? And what age is appropriate to start teaching them these values?
Thank you very much for asking that question. So in teaching our children kindness, diversity, and inclusion, and all of these values, I would say from a minute a child is able to understand what you're saying to the child, you should start teaching the kids, your children, about kindness. Let's talk about racism. Let's talk about all of these things that happen. If you put 12 children, because I have 12 children in my book, and so let me open some pages. They are playing on the playground together. They are holding hands together. If you put 12 children on the playing ground, or take them to the park, Children don't see color. They will play together. They would enjoy themselves. They will laugh together. But the minute at home, you begin to say derogatory things about a particular race, a particular culture, or a particular religion, then a child can go to the park and decide, oh, I'm not going to play with that girl because she's wearing a hijab. Oh, I'm not going to play with that boy because he's black. Because they are hearing these things at home. So as parents, we need to be mindful of the information that we share at home, the kinds of conversations that we're having. And I would say kindness, diversity, and inclusion, it starts with us as parents. You cannot say something bad about another race and expect it not to get into your child's head. It will get into your child's head. Even when you're not talking to your child, you might be on the phone with your friend and you're saying all kinds of things and saying, oh, I hate black people. I never want to be around black people. It's going into your child's head. Unconsciously, your child will go to school and tell a black kid, oh, I don't want to sit next to her because she's black. And then the teacher is wondering, where did that come from? And then the parent comes to school and the parent is like, oh, I don't know. I never said any, So at the end of the day, it starts from us as parents. You have to be intentional about the things you say around your children, about the things you say to your children. And then if you're not a kind person and you're teaching your children kindness, they're going to look at you and be like, Mom, but you're mean, but you're not nice. Like, they might not say it to you. So we have to teach by showing good examples, by leading the right way. Charity, they say, begins at home. So if we're at home and we're telling our children, oh, when you go to school, you do this, do this, do this. But in the house, the brothers are beating each other. The sisters are forever fighting. They're, it's like it starts from home. It starts from home. Siblings would always argue. Siblings would always, fight and do all of this. Oh, no, that's my t-shirt. My boys, they will do it. This one will take this one's t-shirt. No, that's mine. All of those things. But as parents, how are we addressing these issues? Because I find that a lot of parents don't even talk to their children. Parents talk around their children. So they're just saying, oh, who is shouting? Everybody keep quiet in this house. But you're not sitting your children down to talk to them about these values. I talk to my children. We have devotion in my house. We're Christians, so we have daily devotion. We read the scriptures. I'm teaching them about Christ. I am also learning from them, because when you ask them for their views about what we've read, their views sometimes are totally different, where you yourself, you are missing something and it's the child that has picked it up. So, all of these things are things that we need to learn from home, and we need to also put them into our children. At school, the teachers can only do so much. But as parents, we are the ones that need to really, really enforce. We need to create time. I mean, we're here in Canada, Esther. The hustle is real. The hustle is real. No, like anybody seeing us on Instagram or wherever, they're like, I want to jackpot. Oh, yeah. But the truth is, it's not about jackpotting. Are you ready to jackpot? Are you really ready to move abroad? Are you mentally capable of living abroad? Because it's a different ball game. There's no nanny. There's no grandma to quickly go and drop your kids with. There's no, even siblings, even people that have siblings, they come here and then you find out that my brother, my sister does not even have my time because the person is hustling. It's a different ball game. But through it all, you have to create time for these children. Because a lot of us keep saying, oh, the main reason why we moved abroad is because of them. But then why would we now come here and now not create that time for them? So we have to create time to teach them about these things. You can, go on YouTube. There are videos available. There are cartoons. Buy my book, Beautifully Colored. It's a picture book. Once they flip through the pages, they're already learning about diversity. They're already seeing how the world should look like. Because this right here is how the world should look like. Children are supposed to play together, and they're supposed to be kind. They're supposed to be nice to each other. We're not supposed to have any mean kids. We're not supposed to have any bullies. If parents are doing their jobs properly, there should be no bullies at school. There should be no bullies, none at all. Kids should just be made to live in a very free environment where their innocence is shown to the world. You know, kids are very innocent. They are very innocent. But then the minute there's a bully, the minute, oh, people are ganging up against one child, the minute all of this is happening, a child can easily go into their shell. So as parents, we need to do better.
Amazing. And I echo your thoughts on that, you know, as parents, intentional parenting is very, very important. You don't parent passively, you parent consciously, because what you don't address while they're young might lead people to your address in the future. Yes. I tell people all the time, so make sure you are there. You're part of their lives from the beginning. You know everything going on with them. So yes, please, I encourage you guys to get Ariyike's book once again. Even for me, who is the host of the show, listening to her right now, I'm envisaging some of the lessons that, you know, my kids would get from the book. When I buy the book, because I'm going to buy for myself, I'll buy for my friends' children as well. I mean, it's not even just supporting a sister. It's the fact that we need to pass this message on. And when you have a book, right, except, of course, you want to damage the book, it stays with you forever, whatever you read in the book. So thank you so much. Is there any age range for the book? Like, maybe like from 4 to 15? Yeah,
so the book is actually from age 3 upwards. Age 3 upwards.
Okay.
So because on Amazon I had to put like an age like a cap. So on Amazon I put age 3 to 8. But you know, my older son, my first son, he's 14, and when he was in elementary school earlier this year, he's their head teacher. Shout out to the York District Catholic School Board. You know, my kids were schooling in one of the schools there. And when they found out about my book, I hadn't even informed the school, but they found out through a former teacher who used to work at the school, who is now a principal in another school within the district. She follows me on Instagram, so she bought my book and she tweeted about it. So my children's school, the principal, she bought the book, and during assembly, she read the book to the whole school. And you know, yes, and then my son was in grade 8. Then he was in grade 8. He was 13 then. Now he's 14. Now he's in high school. And after he didn't even know, because I didn't even know they were going to read the book. I didn't even know the school had bought the book. I didn't know. So they read the book during the assembly. They read the whole book. That was what the assembly was about. It was my book. And they just said, oh, you know, we want to read a book from one of our parents. She's making us proud. She wrote a book about kindness, diversity, inclusion, and positive affirmations. My kids had no idea it was me. They were just like listening. And then they now called my name. Her name is Ariyike Akinbobola. Her sons are in this school, and they called the names of my 3 sons. And they finished reading the book. And my eldest son, who was 13 then, said all his friends kept coming to hug him. And they were saying, wow, we're so proud of your mom. We're going to buy copies of your mom's book. And even my younger son, who's 12 now, the same thing. And then my youngest, who is 6 now, and he was 5 then. So, you know, this just shows that even the 13-year-old, the kids who were in his class, grade 8, they were also impacted because they bought the books. And the ones that bought, they actually told him, they were like, oh, my mom ordered the book. We bought your mom's book. We really love it. And the grade 2 and 3 students of the school, they wrote me a letter, a handwritten letter. And it was the head teacher was the one that sent me the letter. It was really, really, really beautiful. They wrote everything that they learned in the letter. They wrote everything they learned about the book in the letter. And they were just like praying for me. And they were so happy that, you know, that the head teacher read the book to them. And a lot of them ordered the book. And after that, I was invited to read the book to some other schools in the York Catholic District School Board. One of the schools was even a French-speaking school. And the kids asked me, they said I should please do a French copy of the book. So I'm actually thinking, you know, in the near future, most likely I'll do that. But even though it was in English, they still asked questions. You know, the teachers interpreted the book to them, and they were able to ask questions and they learned. So these are the things. So, you know, for me, that's why when you ask that, oh, why is this not everywhere in terms of like the Amazon #1 bestseller thing, the right people that should know about it, they know, because they knew that the book was #1. And, you know, with that, they've been buying the book, they've been supporting. Every other day on my Instagram DM, I'm getting messages from people in Edmonton, Calgary, in different parts of Canada. People are sending me pictures of their children holding the book, Nigerians, non-Nigerians. You know, it's beautiful to see that a book that all I wanted to do was just tell a story and just let the kids pick up this book and feel good about themselves. I didn't know that it would have this much impact. I honestly didn't. I didn't envisage it, but I'm happy.
Beautiful. Well done. Well done. I'm learning from your amazing feats, and I must say, for an immigrant to break such boundaries, it's a big deal. And I'm saying this for those who are watching as well. Of course, we live in a multicultural, space. However, to break into that multicultural layer and actually be seen and heard, it is a big deal. And Ariyike has done something amazing. I also do echo the thought of the kids that you should make a French version and get somebody to do that translation for you, send it to other provinces. Even you can have the PR girl. You know what to do. You know your audience.
Then I have you now. I have you as well.
Yeah.
I have you.
We are together. We are together. We are together on this journey. Of course, we are together. And I was going to ask, while you're speaking, because I always love to ask my guests, right? Whether people who inspired you as a person, either women out there that you look up to, maybe like 3 women that you would say inspired Ariyike. 3 women. Can you kind of just mention them?
Okay, so I would say the first woman that inspires me, continues to inspire me, would be my mother, Chief Princess Pharmacist Mrs. Ladun Lawal. Shout out to my mom. My mom is a strong woman. She's a go-getter, very assertive. She's a pharmacist. My mom is one of those people that if she says she's going to walk into that door, get into that door, she's going to break it down. She's going to get into it however way. And, I think growing up, having a mom like that really shaped me into being who I am, because if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. If I say, oh, I want to meet this person, I'm going to meet that person. If I say what I want and I do what I say. So my mom would be my biggest inspiration. My mom she's in England right now. She went to sign the Queen's Condolence Register. My mom is 76. She went to sign, took pictures, of herself, videos of herself signing the condolence register. When I lived in Nigeria growing up, she was president of Lions Club, Lekki Lions Club, 2-time president. She was chairman of YWCA. So, she's, she's a humanitarian. She's a giver, always impacting lives. She's a widow now. My dad is of blessed memory, God rest his soul. She has a group of widows in Ile-Ife, because she's a princess from Ile-Ife. She has a group of widows that she empowers. She has events for them. She's always, helping them with small businesses and all of that. She's an impactful woman. So I watch her and I watch her life of impact. And, whenever I'm at a crossroads or I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I think to myself, I'm like, if it was my mom would get this done. So my mom is definitely #1. Number 2, I would say Oprah Winfrey. I love Oprah. I've watched Oprah since I was a child. I've, watched a lot of her interviews. I know pretty much so much about her. I feel like we know each other, like we roll. And, just watching her story in the media and seeing all that she has been able to achieve for herself, the empire that she has built, just makes me see that, you know, as a Black woman who came from nothing, and now she is like the epitome of success for every Black queen out there. I look at her and I see that, you know, your dreams are valid. You can be anything that you want to be. I also look at, you know, women in our own Nigerian entertainment and media industry. I look at, you know, people like Moabudu. I look at the empire that they have built over the years. I look at Funke Akindele, who is my sister, my friend. I look at Tiwa Savage, Tokia Makinwa, you, Esther. I look at you. I look at a lot of media queens. I look at a lot of women in the industry. Even Thames. Now I'm inspired by Thames. I read her story. I've been watching her. In fact, now on my WhatsApp status, I have her performance at Global Citizen in Ghana, where she was performing. You know, I look at these people and I see that they don't have two heads. Though. You, Esther, too, you don't have two heads. So when I see these people and I see how they are handling business, like these are women who life has thrown all sorts at them, all sorts, and they still keep bringing out the best versions of themselves, and they keep striving to do better, to become better. I am inspired. And one more person, Nkechi Nwafo Robinson, she's my mentor here in Canada. She's you know, I'm so she's a woman in tech. She's doing amazingly well. I am really inspired by her. And of course, every woman in my life, my older sister as well, my family, my cousins, my in-laws, my friends. I'm inspired by each and every one of them, because I see that with everyone that you have an encounter with, it could be a one-time encounter. It could be somebody that you see all the time, like your sibling. I always pick something from them. There's no conversation is ordinary or by accident when with me. If I'm talking to you, be it a child, be it a little girl, there's always something to pick. You know, I see life as a school. I'm a student of life, and I keep learning and learning and learning, and I keep getting inspired by, you know, by everyone I encounter. So
good. Thank you. I was going to add, when you mentioned terms, in view of talking about values that we pass on to our children, do you know that Tim's mom was also a media person back in the days? She was I saw it. It went viral like 3 or a month ago when people actually went to bring up the picture. And mom, I think she was in that Blue Band advert, or one of those adverts, one of those popular adverts back in the days.
Wow.
And I said, listen, this is what we're talking about. You know, the apple does not fall far from the tree, especially when you see a family. You just talked about your mom and all she's achieved, right? And then at her age, she still had that sense of community service, that sense of loyalty to another woman who just passed on, but she realized the significance that this era just ended, and I have to contribute my quota. And it's beautiful. And I'm happy that, you know, these women who inspire you, it's part of the conversation that we should also be the inspiration for our children.
Oh, yes.
We should be the poster father, the poster mother of kindness and inclusion and diversity. So thank you so much, Ariyike, for that. And I want to ask you, so when you came into Canada, have you had any experience that made you realize, oh my God, I'm Black?
So, to be very honest, nope, I haven't. I haven't had any of those experiences, and you know, I'm truly thankful to God for that. I've not been in any situation where, you know, I've been made to feel less than I am or anything, both at work or maybe at school, my children's school, and even my kids. They've never had any, because we talk about these things. And there's no story. And I think that that's also one of the reasons why I felt it was very important for me to write this book, because I know that not everyone has had that privilege. not to have any stories, because I have friends that have shared their stories with me, stories of their kids. I still had one recently, you know, where a mean kid said something about the blackness of the skin and all of that to another child. So I haven't had any of I haven't had any of this, but walking into a space or walking into a room, I've walked into a lot of places here in Canada, lots, where I've looked around and I was the only Black person. Nobody made me feel like the only Black person, but just walking inside and realizing that, you know how it is. You walk into Walmart, you see a Black person here, automatically you are waving. I don't know if it happens to you. You acknowledge each other. So walking into a space where there's really nobody to acknowledge, like you're acknowledging people, people are acknowledging you, but it's not the same where you see a sister and you're just like, you know, yo, hi. But nobody has made me feel that way. But I personally have felt that way. I've been in places where, you know, I was the only Black person there, and I wished that I wasn't the only Black person there.
Thank you. And that brings me to, you know, the other question, of course, which is, you know, when you got to Canada, what was your culture shock experience like? And your lived experience, you know, I'm asking because for those who want to come here as well, so they're prepared to understand that, yes, you can see me and Ariyike talking like this because we understand each other. However, you will not be meeting people like this all the time. So what was the culture shock like for you? And how did you use that as a lesson, you know, or as a vision board to be a better person?
Okay, okay, thanks. So first of all, I think that the first thing, I don't know if this is a culture shock, but I think it is. I think that one of the first shockers for me when we moved here was, you know, just coming here and not being able to easily find a house, find accommodation, find a place to rent, because we had no credit history, and you know, a good number of landlords were not ready to, you know, give accommodation, because they wanted you know, people who already maybe had a job or had a credit history, or, you know, those things. I had heard when I was in Nigeria that was happening, but coming here and then witnessing it, and because we landed in an Airbnb. I mean, there were people that I could have asked to say, oh, you know, can I stay with you for 2 weeks or whatever? But see, me, I personally, I don't know about anybody else. Me, I don't like water. I don't like, you know, I like my comfort, and I can spend all my dime on my comfort and not even eat, but I can spend all my money and know that, you know, I have a roof over my head, even if it's a small teeny weeny space. And I have 3 boys. My 3 boys have to be comfortable. I don't want them being in a place where they can't speak. I don't want them being in a place where there's lights out. Nah. So we had to save up a lot of money so that we could pay for Airbnb, at least for the first maybe 2 weeks while we were out going up and down looking for accommodation. So my first was not being able to find accommodation immediately because we were new immigrants. We did not have any credit history and all of that. And even in finally renting, when you're a new immigrant, it's usually more, I think that you are a preferred candidate when you can say maybe pay for a couple of months to give the landlord some level of comfort, where, you know, it shows that at least you're not going to run away and not pay their rent, or stay in the house, you know, without paying the rent for months to come. So I think that was the first one. And the second one, so this might be reversed. This might be it might be flipped, because coming here, people had said, oh man, Canada is so cold. My mom was in Canada in 1984. That was her first time of visiting, and she never came back after that, because to her it was almost like Canada is like the North Pole. Like once you go there, Santa Claus is going to be waving at you. It's frozen all year round. It's freezing, frozen, freezing, frozen. I think that I was surprised to realize that here, I mean, where we are, we're here in Ontario. It's not as cold as I thought it would be. I actually thought, like, my mind was prepared for the worst. So even when winter came, I was like waiting for like the worst of days. But then I also realized that I think that a lot of people keep talking about how cold Canada is, but people don't also remember to say to people that it's not as if you're going to be walking on the streets of Canada in the cold. You're going from your house, where you have heating. If you're getting on the bus, you're getting on the bus. It's not cold. You're getting on the train, or you're getting in an Uber. You're going to work. At work, it's not cold. So I think that people need to also let people coming in know that it's not. And then I think with also, global warming and all of that, it's not as, where I am, it's not as cold as I expected it to be. And this is personal to me, Ariyike, because I know some people say, which Canada are you talking about? Are we in the same Canada? This is me. This is my own truth. It's not as cold as I expected it to be. Like, this is my 3rd year, and I am still waiting to see that winter where I'm like, I can't step out. Because in winter,
Amazing.
I can't step out. Because sometimes the house is even too hot. I just go outside. I just want that cold to just hit my face and just, I want to see that white smoke. Like, let me know that yes, I'm in the broad. This abroad, I'm here. So I would say maybe those are the 2 things that I would
in the
say.
abroad. Amazing.
Let me know I'm in the abroad now.
Yes, and for those who don't know, Ariyike is also an MC, a reputable one for that matter. I know it's not a part of you that you usually put out there, but we never can tell, right? So she's also an MC. So if you're having an event here, believe me, this woman is busy. She's busy all the time. She's always booked. So you better book her. So it's not, I mean, the energy, when I said it at the beginning, that people always confuse both of us. I think it's because
we are twins now. You're my twin.
We do, like, the energy is just so high, like, and for every field that she has taken her energy and her light, believe me, she has been successful. And I tell people, you don't have to be number one at everything. I think last week when I was live with Bakasi, and he mentioned that he touched the nerve in me. He said, Esther, I don't want to be number one. For a long time, the pressure was so much, people were comparing with other people. So then he had to step back and focus on other things that would bring him money, so that his pocket will be number one in his life.
I love that.
Because that he doesn't want to be out there and there's no money. So, I mean, exactly. Someone is asking a question. She said, what are the steps involved when relocating to Canada? Can you expatiate more, ma'am? Please, can you do that, Ariyike? I think this person needs that information.
So first of all, let me put a disclaimer out there. I'm not an immigration consultant. So I work in the immigration space. I work in the U.S. immigration space here in Canada. I'm a foreign trained lawyer. I'm not working as a lawyer because I'm not licensed. So I'm not going to give any professional advice because I'm not licensed. However, I'm a relocation coach, and I can help you, land softly when you move abroad. So you can reach out to me for that. If you're looking for steps to relocate to Canada, if you Google it, everything will come out. Or you can even follow pages like Olu of Canada, Olufemiloye, at Olufemiloye. Follow pages follow Tunde Tash at Tunde Tash. Follow pages where all they do is talk about immigration. I'm not here today to talk about immigration because I am not a licensed immigration consultant, so I cannot advise accordingly. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
I can
like the honesty.
I can speak based on my experience. If you go to my YouTube channel, Ariyike Akinbobola on YouTube, I've shared my relocation story. So go there, watch, and I have a couple of videos from when I moved here in 2019 where I shared my story, how I did it. I also shared about how I was able to pass IELTS exams after writing it 5 times. So you can go there for those types of resources. But in terms of like advising professionally, get an immigration consultant and once you conclude all of that, reach out to me. I'll help you, get a soft landing when you move abroad. I'll give you the tips and tricks.
Beautiful. Let me also add that there's also a video. I had Tunde Tash. Speaking of Tunde Tash, I interviewed him last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. So there is
I've interviewed him as well.
It was an informative video, because it was quite an informative session that we had. There's a video on YouTube, on my YouTube as well, Esther Ijowere. I've asked people, I'm like, you know what, just watch that video, because Tunde broke it down. He broke it down, and like he said, you can also go to Human Squad Canada, his organization. They have immigration lawyers. They can recommend for you. Canada is not like Nigeria, where everything is boo, 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 any work, no. If it is not your field, you're not permitted, you're not licensed to talk about it. You cannot talk about it. And this is a live session, so please understand. I just want to let the sister know, please. It's not, don't take that as an offense or someone not trying to answer your question. There are rules that people follow here, and if it's not, a field, like you said, she cannot dive into that topic.
And I have a video with Tunde as well on my YouTube. So watch YouTube too. You can watch mine, and then I also have a series of immigration videos on my Instagram page. So the person can, if you can scroll to my videos from 2020, because I used to have some live sessions with an immigration consultant, KSA, where we broke down different ways that you can move to Canada. So you can watch all those ones as well, where the immigration consultant himself was speaking about what you need to do. So
amazing. Thank you so much. And I think, I love your honesty, and I love the fact that you're reflecting the abroadness because you got to live by the rules out here. And this session is going to be on YouTube. We don't know who's going to watch. I don't want to put my sister in trouble. We don't do immigration law here. No. We are women who, use our lived experiences to inspire other people, our work and our field, the field that we have knowledge in, where we have our skill set, set in time. So thank you so much, Ariyike. I mean, for young women who joined today, for young parents, let me start with parents, who are having a challenge, right? Trying to get through to their children. Some children are stubborn, in quote.
Of course.
No matter how kind the parent is, what would you advise that kind of parent to do?
Okay, thanks for that question. I would say first things first. As a parent, you need to have a sense of self. You need to have self-awareness. Be aware of who you are as a person. Once you know who you are, and sometimes it takes you to reflect. It takes you to actually sit down and think about your past, think about your parents, your grandparents, think about where you're coming from. I, for example, I'm from a royal family. My mom's great grandfather was the Oni of Ife in Yoruba land. And my mom's older brother is a king in Ife. He's a king of one of the towns in Ile-Ife. And what I say to my boys, I let them know who they are. So no matter how stubborn your child is or wants to be, in their moments of being who they are, not that stubborn child though, in their moments of just being still, or in the teachable moments, let that child know who they are. Let them know. Me, I'm from a descendant of kings, and my boys know. They know that they are from a lineage of kings. If you are from a lineage of kings, you cannot misbehave. How? So a child that wants to misbehave will misbehave. We know that. But a child that wants to misbehave, that knows where he or she is coming from, will think twice before they misbehave. Sometimes the things that we say to these kids, we think that they are not listening because we are saying things to them and they are still doing what they are not supposed to do. But guess what? They are listening. And when that thing begins to manifest, when they begin to internalize those things that you said, even you will be surprised. They are the ones that will even remind you and say, Mommy, why are you doing this? But you said this is who we are. You shouldn't be doing that. So I think that, and as Nigerians, a lot of us are from the royal lineage. A lot of us, either from our mom's side or our dad's side. In fact, it was even recently that my mom educated us about my dad's lineage. My dad is even from a lineage of kings as well. We didn't know. So I think that you need to dig into your roots. Dig into your roots. Look for that wow factor. Everybody has a wow factor in their lineage. Everybody. You don't have to be from a royal family. It could be some accomplishments of your great-great-great-grandfather. It could be that he was the first farmer in the village. Something. There would always be something to hold on to. Let your kids know that is where they're coming from. It could be you. It could be your husband. It could be your uncle. It could be somebody in your family. First of all, pick that out. Educate your children. Let them know, see, we're Africans. We have culture. We're not a set of people where we don't know where we are from or anything. We know we're from the motherland. A lot of people, a lot of non-Africans, people of African descent, they are going back to Africa. They're going to the motherland now to trace their roots. We are fortunate enough to know where we are from. We have that going for us. And I think that there has been no better time than now to use that to our advantage. Your Africanness, your Nigerianness actually gives you the wow factor. So if you never knew before, this is the time for you to know. Sit your kids down. Let them know where you are from. Let them know where they are from, whether they were born in Nigeria, whether they were born abroad. Let them know where they are from. Then teach them how to speak your language. It's important. My kids, it's only my 6-year-old now that we're trying to teach how to speak Yoruba. Don't let your children be the Zoom, come, wa, go, lo. They are learning, they're trying to learn. No, they will learn on Zoom, but speak the language to them. Let them understand your language. If you look at Indians, look at Chinese people. Even my son's friend, they're from Ukraine. These kids are 6. When the parents are communicating with the kids, they are speaking in their language outside at parties. But we as Nigerians, some people are like, oh, I don't want my child to know how to speak. That is the wow factor. You don't know. And you're losing out on it because you want to be out. If I'm out and I need to quickly pass a message across to my kids, if I say it in Yoruba, they know, they immediately, instantly, they act. So kids can be stubborn. Yes, we understand. I have 3 boys. So if I write a book about raising boys, I'm sure it'll be a bestseller because sometimes it's like they are not listening. But guess what? They are listening because the day they will show you that they are listening, even you'll be surprised. So let them know where they are from. Teach them the language. Speak the language to them. Because it's one thing to say, oh, I want my children to know how to speak my language, but you're not speaking. Speak the language to them. Let them know where they're from. Let them also show them people. Show them people who are Black like them, who are African like them, who are walking the path that they want to walk. so that they see that these things are possible. Because sometimes kids act out because it's like they have things that they've bottled up in them, or they're aspiring to be something, they want to be something, and they feel like it's never going to happen. And even their parents are not encouraging them. Parents are even killing the dreams of these children that are still small. So let them see that it is whatever dreams they have, no matter, even if it doesn't align with what you want for them, because a lot of us, this is what we want for our kids, but our kids want this. We will continue to pray for them. We'll continue to tow them in the right path, in the right direction, but also listen to them, and let them see that whatever it is that they want to do or become, it is possible, because there are people who have walked that path. So pretty much just let them have that let them have that sense of awareness and identity, where they know that they are not nobody. They are not nobodies. Let them know that they are from a descendant of king, a descendant of, wherever.
Thank you so much. Someone said just okay. Husband material. Thank you for joining. We don't know who you are, but thank you. I just saw that name now.
Esther, I can't see the questions. I don't know why.
No, it's not actually a question. I don't know the screen, right? I don't know. I think it's listen. You can't. That's surprising. Instagram is a mess in the past few days. I don't know about your own life.
Their own world. They're in their own world, right?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I can't even post my live videos anymore, and that stopped from like 3 weeks ago. I don't know what the problem is. So thank God. Yeah. So thank God for Plan B. So when we're done, I got to put it on YouTube. For some reason, the moment I finished, there is the share button. I can't toggle it. It goes off. So I have to just go into my Insight and the archive, save it, download, and then post it to YouTube, right? Wow. Thank God for Plan B. And that's why I say, always know your publicity and do your publicity right. Or else, these apps, we don't own them. We don't own them. So they can do anything.
You were reading a comment. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
No. I saw somebody, his name is Husband Material. He joined. So I said, thank you for joining, because I didn't know who the name just popped up on the screen. So I was saying hello to the person.
Husband Material, hi.
Hi, we don't know you, but God knows anyway. Ariyike, thank you so much for your time today. It's been amazing, chatting with you. And guys, kindly follow Ariyike, like she said, on her page. Follow her on her YouTube channel. Get a copy of that book. Don't just listen today. Buy it for somebody. The best way to educate children is to give them the tools that they need from a young age. And that is what Ariyike has done, right? The lessons these children would learn now, it's going to stay with them for a long time. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We appreciate your time today. Head on to my YouTube channel to watch. For those who are just joining, we have to end the session. So please head on to my YouTube channel to watch the video of today's session. It's going to be there. And of course, I'll be back next week with another amazing guest by God's grace. God keep us all. Have a good one. Don't forget your affirmation, please. Every day you wake up, affirm something to yourself. Ariyike, bye, and have a good week. All the best, and I love to the family.
Amazon, beautifully colored. Thank
you. Bye there. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. You got to end it from your hand. I can't even end it. Is that bad?